This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester. Transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Put your money in motion. Drive VMW, VM Wealth Management. Transform your everyday.
The time by VM Wealth Management is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tawna Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Friday, October 17, 2025. Governor General accuses IC of breaching established hiring procedure. Investigations continue into Thursday death of 20-year-old University of the West Indies student. Mocha says the public deserves credit for the agency's 93% conviction rate over the last 2 years. In regional news, a family of Trinidadian man believed killed in U.S. strike demands proof of drug trafficking. In international news, Zelensky to make case for missiles at White House meeting on Friday. In sports, Campbell and Hope were the biggest movers for the West Indies in the recent ICC Test batting rankings. And in business, Canada threatens Jeep maker over possible U.S. move. The details after the break.
Mysterious, magical, mesmerizing. Wouldn't you like to experience the natural beauty of the Northern Lights? You could be the lucky one if you use your cards right. Spend with your Sagicor Bank credit card from September 29 to November 13, 2025, and you could win an all-inclusive cruise vacation for two along the Norwegian coast to see the Northern Lights. Chase the Northern Lights with your Sagicor Bank credit card. The more you spend it, the closer you are to your dream adventure. Enjoy the best rewards ever. Conditions apply. Authorized by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen says the Integrity Commission failed to follow established procedure when submitting recommendations to fill two key posts at the agency. This as the King's House issued a rare clarification and explanation amid criticism of the actions of the head of state. The response aims to set the record straight in light of concerns that the Governor General is solely responsible for delays in the appointment process at the anti-corruption body. The positions in question are Executive Director and Director of Corruption Prosecution. In a release on Thursday, Sir Patrick confirmed that he received the Commission's recommendations for the posts in June and July, respectively. But he says the manner in which the names were submitted did not align with the long-standing precedent guiding such appointments. According to the Governor General, efforts were made to resolve the procedural issue directly with the Commission. But he says after those failed, he sought a formal legal opinion from the Attorney General's chambers to ensure his actions were constitutionally sound. Sir Patrick says that the opinion was later shared with the Commission, which complied with the required administrative precedent. He says that compliance came earlier this week. Given the resolution, the Governor General says he will now officially move forward with appointing the people recommended. Investigations are underway into the death of a female student on the University of the West Indies Mona campus early Thursday morning. She is identified as 20-year-old Victoria Brown Hanley. She was a marketing student residing on the George Elaine Hall. Commanding officer for the Area 4 Police, ACP Michael Phipps, says law enforcement is interested in CCTV footage from the dorm.
We are doing our investigations where we seek to record a few statements, interview a few persons, and of course, in a short while, we should be viewing a CCTV footage that may have recorded something. We are at the very early stage of our investigations, and there's not much that we can say at this time, except to say that we are at this time treating this particular incident as a death investigation.
It's reported that Hanley's body was found by her roommate sometime after 6 in the morning. Preliminary reports suggest that she may have taken her own life. ACP Phipps says a post-mortem is expected to be done soon.
Very critical to our investigation in terms of ascertaining the cause of death. We hope to have a very early post-mortem done.
ACP Michael Phipps, commanding officer for the Area 4 Police. Director of Communications at the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, MOCA, Major Basil Jarrett, says its push to crack down on lawbreakers has been boosted by the strong cooperation of the public.
I think the best demonstration of that is the anti-corruption tip line, which we launched about 2 or 3 years ago. That tip line is something that we envision as a critical enabler that will get the public on board in the anti-corruption fight. It's powered at the back end by Crime Stop. We chose to partner with Crime Stop because of that very impressive record they have. They've never had a source compromise in their 36 years, and we thought they were the ideal partner to go down this road with. And I think the response from the public suggests that we made the right choice.
MOCA has achieved a 93% conviction rate over the last 2 years. The 2-year period saw the agency successfully prosecuting 30 out of 32 cases. The most recent case involved a $222 million fraud uncovered at the Institute of Sports in Sports. 3 men were found guilty last month, but the 3 women charged all walked free. Major Jarrett says MOCA leans heavily on its law enforcement partners, including the JCF and JDF.
In addition to the support we get from the public, it would be remiss of me not to mention the support we get from our partners in the anti-corruption and organized crime fight. We get a lot of support from the JCF. MOCA is a fairly small agency. Some of our operations are very resource intensive, so we turn to the police whenever we need additional boots on the ground. Not just the police, but my other place across the road from us, over at the JDF. Very important partners in what we do. There's a Financial Investigations Division, Tax Administration, Jamaica Customs, PICA. All of these bodies are critical enablers allowing us to do what we do.
Major Basil Jarrett, Director of Communications at MOCA. Major Jarrett was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday evening. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin is reporting that point-to-point inflation for September stood at 2.1%. This is an increase from the 60-year record low of 1.2% recorded in August. This means inflation remains well below the Bank of Jamaica's target rate of 4 to 6% for a third successive month. The leading contributors to the inflation rate outturn were the housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels division, and restaurants and accommodation services. Director General of the Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin, Leisha Delati-Bader, says several lessons learned from the 2022 housing and population census will be applied for the 2031 survey.
As we are coming out of the 2022 population and housing census, we are beginning to plan for the 2031. And with that, we take the lessons that we have learned from this one. And there are a couple of lessons that we have learned. which includes the fact that we have to tighten our internal operation. We had challenges, we've learned from them, we're adjusting. As well, we also note that our data collection instruments have to be smaller. It means that because persons no longer are willing to sit and talk with us for an extended period of time. So for the 2031 census, one of our lessons learned is that we need a smaller data collection instrument.
The 2022 census was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, but there was a litany of other problems: recruiting and retaining workers, incomplete data sets, and inaccessibility to gated communities. These caused a significant delay in the completion of the exercise. Latibader says Staten intends to explore alternative data collection methods.
We also know that we have to embrace self-enumeration, web questionnaires, and deploy that better so that persons are more concerned now about giving their personal information to people. So those are some of the lessons that we've learned. We've also started an initiative supported again by the United Nations Statistics Division called the DATAS Project, otherwise known as Data for SIDS, where we are working with our partners in government on the development of enhanced georeferenced information for future censuses. There are also discussions that are ongoing with local partners about how we can access administrative data to improve the collection processes. So there are several lessons learned. There are several things that we have thought about.
Leisha de Latibader, Director General of Staten. She was addressing a quarterly media briefing earlier this week. Meanwhile, the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC, is defending Jamaica's use of the model-based approach to completing its 2022 census. ECLAC's regional advisor on social statistics, Andres Gutierrez, says Jamaica is not unique in its use of the methodology.
Absolutely not. Here in the region, we have some countries, like 6 or 7 countries that are right now using this kind of solution to fill the gaps where the census did not reach a complete count. Here we are supporting National Statistical Office through the use of smaller estimation models and modeling population to fill those gaps, So there are a lot of experience out there that has been published. And here in the region, in the Caribbean and in Latin America, we have some like 6 or 7 National Statistical Offices that have been implemented these kind of methods.
A model-based census uses statistical models to combine data from various sources, such as surveys, administrative records, and geospatial information, to create estimates of population characteristics. The methodology was used to ensure the accuracy of the 2022 population and housing census, following a less than ideal survey coverage. However, this is brought into question the integrity of the final product. But Gutierrez says the methodology has been tried and proven over 60 years.
So in that sense, the topic is not new. We are not experimenting here. We have a very strong and consolidated literature review that is not only based on the academic side, but also on the implementation that National Statistics Offices have been done for the last 20 years. So here in the Statistics Division at ECLAC, we are very serious about that. We are not recommending anything new that have not been implemented before in the field of official statistics, and we are very concerned that the National Statistical Offices adhere to this principle, that every single methodology has been proven in other, experiences.
Andres Gutierrez, ECLAC's regional advisor on social statistics. Chairman of the Education Transformation Oversight Committee, ETOC, Dr. Adrian Stokes, says an online portal will soon be established to allow Jamaicans to apply to serve as board directors for schools across the country. Dr. Stokes commended the Ministry of Education for advancing efforts to make the process more transparent and accessible to citizens.
They have now set up a portal where Jamaicans can go and look at the various schools and put in their application, and those applications will be assessed, and based on competencies and the specific needs of schools, directors will be chosen. Very, very important. And that is something that I want to commend all involved to get that portal up and running and to begin to publicize and to get actual applications in to improve the quality that we have. That's very, very important, right? Improving the quality is something that we're going after.
He notes that the implementation of the portal forms part of broader measures to strengthen accountability and improve the management of school boards. According to Dr. Stokes, the initiative will give more qualified Jamaicans the opportunity to play a role in shaping educational outcomes at the institutional level.
Jamaica operates a relatively decentralized governance system. School boards play a very, very important role. You know, when you look at the performance of schools, that performance correlates highly with the quality of the board. So improving our school boards is something that the ministry, ETOC, is very focused on.
Dr. Adrian Stokes, chairman of ETOC, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday. Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the ministry is committed to establishing more diagnostic centers for children with special needs. She was speaking during a media briefing on Thursday.
I think another area we have to focus on, and we are focusing on in the ministry, is actually having more special needs units across the system and also doing more diagnostic work, because so often you hear, I have a child, I think they may have a special needs, but I have no one, I'm not able to get the diagnostics done. And so we are building a new one at Case in Portland so that those in the east don't have to come all the way to Kingston. So we're doing that.
She says greater focus will be placed on enabling persons living with disabilities to be embraced in the workplace.
Also, very importantly in our policy, we're looking at pathways to work. Too often, our children with disabilities or special needs are not able to work. They are important. All of you are important. I want to see you up here too. I want to see you leading a ministry. And that's how we have to see all of our children. All our children have tremendous potential.
Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, Minister of Education. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:17.
Decorate like a designer with BH Paints. The temperature brought to you by BH Paints is
27 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 27 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville 22 degrees Celsius.
Everybody needs a helping hand, somebody to understand. In the end, we're all human. For people living with HIV, no discrimination. Here to support them through. Respect you as usual. Got to protect them too. When I give it to your family, somebody in your community. People living with HIV. Protect, accept, and respect people living with HIV. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news. Relatives of a Trinidadian man who say he was killed in a U.S. military strike on a boat in the Caribbean this week are demanding evidence to back up allegations he was trafficking drugs. Family members of 26-year-old Chad Joseph said they believe he was killed in a strike on Tuesday along with another Trinidadian man named by some media as Rishi Samaru. U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered a large U.S. military buildup in the southern Caribbean. U.S. troops there have conducted at least 6 strikes on boats the administration says were involved in drug trafficking without providing evidence. At least 27 people have been killed. The U.S. has described some of them as Venezuelans, while Colombian President Gustavo Petro has suggested others were from his country. International, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is set to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington on Friday. On the agenda is whether the U.S. should arm Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles capable of striking deep into Russia. The advanced missiles have a range of 2,500 kilometers. It will be Zelensky's third visit to the U.S. since January, amid the ongoing war with Russia. Their meeting comes a day after Trump said great progress was made in a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Asked earlier this week if the U.S. was considering giving Ukraine the missiles, Trump said, quote, "We'll see. I may," end quote. But when asked about the same prospect following his call with Putin, the president said the U.S. can't deplete its stockpile as it needs the missiles too. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Need a little extra this Christmas? Infinity Cooperative Credit Union has the solution with our Infinity Merry Money promotion. Whether it's sprucing up your home, upgrading your car, or covering holiday expenses, we've got you. From October 10 to December 15, borrow $500,000 or more and you can be entered to win your share of $500,000 in cash prizes. Get the money you need and make your Christmas truly merry with Infinity Merry Money promotion. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Time now for your morning sports. Jamaica's John Campbell and Barbadian Shea Hope were the biggest movers for the West Indies in the recent ICC Test batting rankings. Hope scored 103 in the second innings of the second test against India, his first test century since 2017, to move up 34 places to 66 from 100th. Campbell, who scored 115 in the same innings, his maiden test century, moved 6 spots from 74 to 68. All-rounder Justin Greaves moved up 5 spots to 71st after scoring an unbeaten even half century Also in the second innings of the second test, Craig Brathwaite, who last featured in the test series against Australia in July, remains the West Indies' highest-ranked batsman despite dropping 2 places to 58th. Alec Athanaze is the next highest ranked at 62nd. Joshua Da Silva, who did not feature on the Indian tour, fell 3 spots to 75th. Captain Roston Chase dropped 1 spot to 82nd, while Tijnarain Shandapal moved up 2 spots to 96th, the same as Gurukesh Moti. In the test bowling rankings, injured fast bowler Shamar Joseph moved down 1 spot to 16th, while Jayden Seales, who had a tough tour of India, dropped 4 places to 17th. Left-arm spinner Jamel Warrican, who took the most wickets in the just concluded tour of India, moved up 2 places to 30th, 1 behind Alzari Joseph, and Chase moved 4 spots to 57th. Now, former West Indies fast bowler Ian Bishop has called for the Caribbean cricketing community to become more self-sufficient in order to establish and maintain professional standards.
We have to be more self-sufficient now in the Caribbean to be able to create our own professional standards in the absence of guys going to the leagues in Manchester or in further north England to fine-tune in alliance with county cricket. We have to become more self-sufficient somehow, and we can't depend on always being overseas.
Emphasizing the need for sustainable development within the region, Bishop also advocated for more A-team tours.
What I do think is important, though, Yash, the A tours, reciprocal tours, and I wonder if India and the BCCI could also lend us a hand by getting more guys in a quid pro quo situation where they can come across young players, come across, benefit from that wonderful center of excellence and have some use of that and have a reciprocal agreement.
Ian Bishop. Finally, in your morning sports, St. Lucia's Olympic 100 meters champion Gillian Alfred raised over $100,000 for charity over the weekend by selling some of her memorabilia at auction. The biggest sale at the fundraising celebratory cocktail dubbed an evening in honor of Gillian Alfred was her 2025 track spikes, which were sold for a whopping $75,000 to American businessman Kevin Graves, manager of Miami Heat basketball star Bam Adebayo. The spikes were the ones worn by the 24-year-old Alfred when she won her second straight Wanda Diamond League 100 meters title and for her third place finish in the 100 meters at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. Bidding started at $1,500 for the shoes, which were molded on Alfred's feet. Also auctioned off were the Puma jersey and bib worn by Alfred at the recent Tokyo World Championships. That was bought by former collegiate and professional basketball Marcellus Steed for $1,900. And that's it for your morning sports.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
In business this morning, British Gas's parent company, Centrica, Eurogarages and Holland & Barrett, are among the latest companies named and shamed by the government for underpaying staff. The Department for Business and Trade, DBT, has released a list of nearly 500 employers fined more than £10 million for failing to pay the minimum wage. It said 42,000 workers were repaid more than £6 million. Business Secretary Peter Kyle said that the government was cracking down on those not playing by the rules. All three firms blamed past payroll problems for the underpayments and said all affected staff had been remunerated. All the employers named on DBT's list were fined up to double the total amount they owed to staff, some for underpayments dating as far back as 2013. Paul Nowak, the Trades Union Congress General Secretary, said there was no excuse for workers being cheated out of money they're owed. He said it's bad for workers, families, and the economy. The Canadian government has threatened legal action against global car giant Stellantis over its plans to move production of the Jeep Compass to the U.S. Earlier this week, Stellantis revealed a $13 billion investment in America and plans to shift manufacturing of the Compass model from Ontario to its Illinois plant. Canadian's Industry Minister Melanie Joly said the firm had made a legally binding commitment to stay in the city of Brampton in exchange for financial support and would exercise all options, including legal, if it did not uphold the agreement. Stellantis said it was investing in Canada and had plans for its Brampton plant, details of which it could not currently disclose. In her letter to Stellantis Chief Executive Antonio Filosa, Melanie Joly said the country had given the company billions of dollars and the move would jeopardize the future of its Brampton factory. And in foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar has gained 48 cents and will open trading against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $161.41. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican has gained 80 cents and will open selling for an average $116.08. And finally, the Jamaican dollar has gained $2.09 and will begin trading for an average $215.94 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Protecting your personal data is a priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. We urge you to use the agency's official platforms to conduct your business. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:31.
Sagicor is spreading the word. Catch it early.
Catch it early.
Catch it early. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Early detection can save your life. Don't drop the ball. Get screened for breast cancer today. Do your self-examinations regularly and schedule your mammogram. Make sure you're prepared. Get Sagicor Life Critical Illness Insurance. Access up to 25% of your sum insured on early diagnosis of breast cancer. Conditions apply. Catch it early.
Why free? Every community, the citizen security plan, yeah, it need all our way. Yo, make your vote. Everybody want a safer country right now. Why free? Every community, the citizen security plan, yeah, it need all our way. Yo, make your vote. Every Jamaican proud to turn it up. Stand up. That one a name CSP. One up. Marcus the education and the key. Stand up. Crime prevention better than cure. Lock the gun there. Open more door. The youth them at the future check their meds as well. Professional help protect the mental health. Squaddy everybody a link and give a strength. Everybody all a government unity strength. Every community, the citizen security plan, yeah, it need all our way. Yo, make your vote. Everybody want a safer country right now.
The Citizen Security Plan is an initiative of the Ministry of National Security in partnership with the European Union. It's an all-of-government effort to create safer streets and build stronger communities. Go to mns.gov.jm to learn how you can play your part.
celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright.
Top of the morning to you, our listeners and viewers, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Yeah, brewing coffee, boiling tea, or you're already on the roads, getting the kids to school, or just bringing yourself to work. Top of the morning to you. It is Friday. Yeah, favorite day of the week, of course, for obvious reasons. So top of the morning to you all. I'm Saeed Bernard.
And I am Siobhan Campbell.
How are you doing, Siobhan?
Doing alright. Coming from this location for the last time.
Yeah.
Ever?
Yep. This is the last show, the last Nationwide this morning, coming to you from Broadcast House here at 6 Bradley Avenue. As of next week, we'll be looking different, probably feeling different. We'll be in a different location, but we will bring in the same show to you, bigger and better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting in sold chairs apparently. Apparently, between yesterday and today, people have gone about and bought pretty much everything in the studio.
Yeah. So what are you buying, Siobhan?
No, the only thing I'm taking from this location is a chair that I've been sitting on in probably the last 6-7 years.
Oh, you bring the chair go along, sir?
No. It's going home with me. That chair that I have...
sentimental value.
That chair that I've been together for quite a while.
Wow.
So it leaves with me.
It's longer than enough people relationship, so not knowing if you bring it home. At this point, it's a common law chair. You've been sharing time with it for over 5 years. Cohabited with it.
Pretty much. I mean, I started my nationwide journey here at Bradley Avenue. So, I know this is not the first time Nationwide has moved.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I will be moving
with Nationwide.
Yes.
Yeah, same. I mean, I've only been here for 3 years, thereabout. Yeah, about 3 years. So this will be my first move with Nationwide. Funny enough. It's just a lot of moving, a whole lot of moving. I was talking to King the other day. This is King's second moving. So King was with them, Jeremy and King. The Grinch, because it's Christmas time, so I call him Grinch, not Maestro. But the Grinch, he was with them at Manningsville Road, and he did the move down to Bradley Avenue, and down from Bradley Avenue to downtown. But I feel like they keep on going further from home. How much further? We say in the water we go. Jaja. Yeah. So I'm just not looking forward to have to wake up earlier.
You'd have to wake up earlier?
Yeah, I'd have to wake up earlier because it's further. Where I live, compared to here, I can get here in a particular time and in good timing and be here and comfortably here Forgot on some, I forgot get up earlier. Come I forgot leave out earlier.
Interesting, most of the newsroom staff lives in that direction.
Oh,
so it would actually be easier for them to get to downtown and to get here to Halfway Tree.
Lucky them. Yeah.
But I don't know. It is. I'm not the type of person who gets sentimentally attached to any place or thing. So I'm always the one out with the old, in with the new. So it'll be interesting to see how things shape up at actually not up. I suppose it's
down by the waterfront.
Down by the waterfront. But I think sometimes it's good to have a fresh environment. A nice fresh environment. Have a nice start on a different footing.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, Siobhan.
But you know what I was saying? One thing that has been troubling me the last few days, I am still a proud user of public transport. Okay. So I rely on things like bus, taxi to get around and to get to where I'm getting. And I realized yesterday that out of nowhere, the taxi operators decided they want to put another thing on the fare.
Oh, yeah, I say. How much more than put it? No, you have to give you the context in the show. So what was the fare? And then how much more than put on it now?
No, to the best of my knowledge, my understanding is that to travel from where I live to Halfway Tree is supposed to be $150. Sometime in the last year, the taxi operators decided that they're going to move that to $180.
So then put on $30 on it.
And then sometime in the last few days, they decided they're going to move that now to $200.
Because them can't find the $20 for gear back every time.
So was our fare increase announced sometime in the last few days that I just missed? And then when I got to work here, that this is just routine practice. Nobody seems to know what the fare is now. Some people getting charged $150, some people getting charged $180, some people getting charged $200.
And I think it's actually illegal because I remember we did an interview some time ago with Minister of Transport Vaz, and it's illegal. It's illegal.
It is, but the problem...
it's kind of hard to enforce. That's the issue.
I don't know how hard it is to enforce. I just wonder if there's any will to enforce it.
Oh, really?
Because the Transport Authority, every time they do, they just send out some pithy press release or they shake their hands and wag at them and say, bad taxi operators, and then they do nothing.
Because what has to happen, Siobhan, isn't it that the people riding in the taxi have to say, oh, well, nah, pay it. All of me, nah, pay it.
No, but we don't have that kind of
we don't have that will
and power, so to speak. How are you going to go into a taxi operator's vehicle and just simply tell them you're not going to pay the fare?
Yeah.
What it needs is the Transport Authority needs to do something. I mean, is it really beyond them to just put on plain clothes, go into a taxi one day, and just ask the taxi operator what is the fare? And when the taxi operator quotes the wrong fare, because I can guarantee you the majority of taxi operators will give them the wrong fare. They simply say, all right, we're taking your vehicle. It just seems to me that it's as simple as that. But there just does not seem to be any will to enforce the fares on the taxi operators. I don't know if it's a political situation or just laziness on the part of the Transport Authority to actually do something about it.
Fair.
But just simply sending out a press release isn't doing anything. That's a waste of people's time. Because the taxi operators know you're not going to do anything about it. So just ignore the release.
You know what else bothers me, Siobhan? Like how we talk about Badawi. You know what else bother me? This low birth rate thing. The low population growth thing. It bother me. It is bothering me. Like I was thinking about it yesterday after the interview. I was like, damn, we're gonna be in problems if we don't fix it. So I want to encourage everybody out there. Siobhan, you have no pitney? You have no pitney?
No, that has been established.
So I'm encouraging Siobhan and the others out there.
I notice you're trying to...
Jamaica needs you right now.
I notice you're trying to exclude yourself from that equation.
Siobhan, I'm not ready for pitney yet. I can't even manage myself, much less for manage a whole other human being.
That is what I said.
Serious, no, but Siobhan,
our listeners and viewers find that unacceptable excuse.
I'm pretty sure you were born a couple of years before me. So if anybody is supposed to be ready...
a couple of years difference makes the biggest difference?
Yes!
Okay.
It is the starting point. I mean, Mr. Jamaicans for life, every day at the YouTube shop, good morning, Geldin Saeed. Well, listen to me, Jamaicans for life. I am the driver of the Geldin truck. Proudly so. My driver's license says authorized to drive the gelding, and I will continue to drive the gelding.
I'm not going to go that far with you.
Until me decide to retire from the gelding truck, me I can drive the gelding truck with pride. Me not even gonna tint the glass I'm in the truck, fishbowl style. Can you more you see me?
Well, is it something that is just akin to modern life where people just decide that having children is just not in the cards? That's what I'm wondering. Is it really just modern life? Because
no, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, no, Siobhan. I do plan to get married, hopefully. If my life goes according to my plan, I will get married and I will have 2 beautiful rugrats running up and down, a boy and a girl. Right?
That's probably not going to cut it.
I will have 2 beautiful rugrats with the Bernard name running up and down.
At the rate the society is going, they're probably not going to be enough.
And at this stage, with the hours that I work, with the things that I do, yeah, more enjoy myself a little bit more. Yeah, me have more life to live. Yeah, I travel a couple times already still, you know. Yeah, I've been to probably 37 countries by now. But I still have a little bit more things to do. I have some more things to tick off on the box first before I say, all right, time for, grab the oats and the supplement and, turn it on my head and get a wife and get my children. But until then, you can't bully me for doing it before the time. You cannot.
But that interesting thing on the side. What about your partner who you decide to settle down with at some point? They're while...
No. I'm not settling down with a partner, Siobhan. I'm not settling down with a partner, Siobhan. I am choosing a partner. And that partner is choosing me.
Biological time.
Siobhan, we know about me, man. Siobhan, listen to me, Siobhan. With God, all things are possible. When last you go to church?
Quite recently.
If Sarah and Abraham could have beaten in them 90s, the look at 30s not kill me off. The look at 30s not kill me off, Siobhan.
Don't trust
But listen to me. I live alone in my own apartment, and when I calculate my bills, right? When I calculate how much I spend to live comfortably, I forgot to have a picnic on top of that. Right now.
Well, as YouTube is reminding us, people have had children for a lot less.
Business. That is people. They made that choice. That is their business and their problem, and kudos to them. And that is why I'm saying I am encouraging everybody else. Go and have the children. The country needs it. Go and have the children, be fruitful and multiply. No, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, and the Lord will tell you when I have to pit them. And the Lord said, I don't know. Simple as that. I drive the gelding truck.
We had some youngsters on yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday, who seem to think that the country will be quite fine, children or no children. so I don't know. There's some perspectives to look at it. I mean, one gentleman said, "Yeah, automation will solve any problems that the lack of children existing will cause." But I don't know, because remember, when you reach your old age, if somebody's not paying into the pension fund, how are you going to be taken care of?
Exactly. So we need to start it out. So Siobhan, I am not a proponent of getting kids out of marriage. If it happens, it happens, and God say I know. But go get your wife and get your children, man, Siobhan. It is time, and I'm using this opportunity to encourage you, Siobhan, because the country needs you. The country needs you, Siobhan. And I think at this age and stage where the country needs you, you need to, you need to get it together. And for all of the people that may pressure me, only need to go pressure the 30-year-old them, and them may forget pressure. I'm not reaching out the line yet. I them want to forget pressure. When they can't pressure me. Yeah? Me will go and wait. And they can't pressure me. I gotta for tell me when. Yeah? Gotta for tell me when. And him not say so yet. So, alright. But Siobhan, I feel like God is talking to you though. I feel like God is talking to you.
That's very specific.
You need to. Siobhan, I go to church every Saturday, so we tell us I gotta talk to you. I'll crusade. Hey, I like to go on crusade though. Yeah, man. And when you have the children, bring them to church and christen them. Yeah, bring them to church and christen them. Put them in the hands of God.
Fresh environments, new faces, new places. We shall see,
The Pink Run, a corporate wellness challenge, encourages physical activity, healthy eating, and age-appropriate health checks. Remember, early detection saves lives. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is
10 minutes to 7 o'clock.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is...
It's 27 degrees Celsius here in the capital city, Kingston, 27 out west in Montego Bay, and 22 in Mandeville.
Looking for superior quality transportation from an international award-winning provider? Well, look no further. Choose Island Car Rentals, Jamaica's leading car rental company, setting the standard for ground transportation in Jamaica. For over 50 years, Island Car Rentals has been your trusted partner for reliable, top-quality vehicles. But we're more than just a car rental company. Need an airport transfer at any hour? Heading out of town and want to travel in style with a private chauffeur? Need a truck to rent for business or personal use? Or maybe you need a customized shuttle or tour for a large or a small group. Whatever your transportation need, Island Car Rentals has you covered. Call us today at 876-926-8012 or 876-929-5875 or visit www.islandcarrentals.com to book your next trip. Because Island people take better care of you.
You hear that sound, it's time for your first morning road bulletin. Good morning, Ludlow, how are you?
Morning, show. Morning, Chevron, morning. Saeed, morning, how you doing?
How you doing, Ludlow? You've done your due diligence, correct?
I was going to ask Chevron if he's the night watchman. You know, I heard him last night on a program. Nationwide time. And I mean, in cricket, they have a thing you call night watchman. You know, the number 11 or number 10 comes in place of the regular batsman. You know, to preserve the regular batsman. You know, place in the team, and then he comes early in the morning, and then he gets out early. Anyway,
I just do as called to serve. London, that is it.
Anyway, this morning to our listeners and our traveling passengers, everyone tuned in. It's overcast condition, lots of clouds above, some cumulus clouds, cirrus clouds, along with nimbus. They're all different varieties of clouds. But the roadways are busy at this time, and although schools are out, it's busy, but not as bad as previous mornings. And so far, depending on where there are gaps along. If you're coming out of St. Catherine, there are gaps along the Mandela. If you're coming out of Portmore to get onto the Mandela, you're on the North-South Highway or Edward Seattle Highway, and you're making it. Or if you're also on the other highway, the PJ Patterson Highway, coming onto the Mandela, it's pretty good movement into towards the 6 miles. There are gaps along Washington Boulevard also, but it's building all the time. It's the same thing as you make it to Dunrobin. That is an inevitable. It's always built just after you pass in the vicinity of Dunrobin Primary Day, in the Crescent, coming towards Dunrobin Avenue. So, Huntington Road, a steady flow into Harvard Tree, and if you're on Upper Waterloo coming off Shortwood, the movement is also good, but building in the Upper Waterloo section, heading towards Hope Road, and by extension, Hope Road, heading into Harvard Tree, getting a bit busy at this time. But there are areas that it's moving across Trafalgar Road, in Lady Musgrave Road, all these areas. So, it's building all the time, and I hope we don't have the traffic situation again like yesterday. Once it rains, there's a problem with traffic, especially in that New Kingston area and up in the Ligony area. So until 7:20, back to Siobhan.
Thank you for that, Ludlow. Next is your word of the day. And listeners, your word of the day is ESEMPLASTIC. So that is ESEMPLASTIC.
SM Plastic. SM Plastic. SM Plastic.
Yes, it is SM Plastic, which means having the ability to shape diverse elements or concepts into a unified whole. That is ESEMPLASTIC. It's an adjective, and if you use that in a sentence, that would be the artist's SM Plastic vision transformed the chaotic scene into harmony, or she possessed an SM Plastic imagination that could weave together seemingly unrelated events into a coherent story. Interesting word. So your word for the day, listeners, is SM Plastic. It is ESEMPLASTIC.
For many children today, their first introduction to the internet comes through a tablet or a smartphone. If you're considering purchasing a tablet for your child, there are a few important factors to think about. Before handing over the device, it's crucial to decide what you're comfortable with your child using it for. Will they be allowed to play games, search online, chat with others, or download apps? Setting clear boundaries up front helps avoid confusion later on. This week on Parenting Tips, how to properly guide your child with their first device. Make sure the tablet is set up safely before your child starts using it. Activate parental controls to restrict access to inappropriate content. Familiarize yourself with the device's safety features, including reporting tools and safety modes, so you can guide your child confidently. Opt for child-friendly websites and search engines to ensure your child's online activities are safe and appropriate. For younger users, keep the conversation simple. Discuss rules around tablet use, including when and where it's okay to use it. Many parents set boundaries like a device-free mealtime or keeping the device in a shared space where they can keep an eye on their child. Open dialogue is key. Encourage your child to come to you if they encounter something online that may make them upset, uncomfortable, or confused. Regular check-ins will help create a positive online experience and build trust from the start. Tablets are often used for gaming, so it's important to talk to your child about the games they play. Check the age ratings, and if the game has a chat feature, consider disabling it for younger users. It's also a great idea to let them show you how the game works, so you stay involved in their online world. Many apps and games offer in-app purchases, which can easily lead to unexpected costs. To avoid this, block in-app purchases in your device's settings. You can also restrict access to the App Store and add a password to manage what your child can download. As your child becomes more independent with their device, it's important to talk about privacy, inappropriate content, sharing personal information, and the dangers of cyberbullying. Setting clear expectations and maintaining open communication will keep your child safe as they explore the digital world. By taking these steps, you'll help ensure your child's online experience is safe, enjoyable, and age-appropriate. That's all for Parenting Tips this week.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
Picture this. You're waiting in line to buy tickets and you want to do something to pass the time. So what do? Some would choose to go on their phone while others would try to strike up a conversation. But what is proper etiquette while you're waiting in a long line? I'm Tana, and the Lifestyle Pages starts now. Here are some basic rules for chatting with people while waiting in a line. Don't give out personal information if you've never seen him or her before. Don't get into a political discussion. It's dangerous to open this up if you don't know the person's affiliation or the level of passion. Be cautious about discussing religious views. While it's okay to mention the church you attend, if it naturally flows in the conversation, don't make judgmental comments about others. Don't call a stranger by an intimate name. It might be normal for you to address everyone as dear, sweetie, or darling, but it might make someone who isn't used to it feel uncomfortable. I'm Tana, and those were your Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston or Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
27 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 27 out west in Montego Bay, and still 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 for this morning, Friday, October 17, 2025. Governor General blames the Integrity Commission for delays in appointments to senior posts. Investigations continue into Thursday's death of 20-year-old University of the West Indies student. Mocha says the public deserves credit for the agency's 93% conviction rate over the last 2 years. And in international news, Zelensky to make case for missiles at White House meeting on Friday. The details after the break.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
With the details, I'm Tona Thomas. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen says the Integrity Commission failed to follow established procedure when submitting recommendations to fill 2 key posts at the agency. This as the King's House issued a rare clarification and explanation amid a criticism of the actions of the head of state. The response aims to set the record straight in light of concerns that the Governor General is solely responsible for delays in the appointment process at the anti-corruption body. The positions in question are Executive Director and Director of Corruption Prosecution. In a release on Thursday, Sir Patrick confirmed that he received the Commission's recommendations for the posts in June and July, respectively. But he says the manner in which the names were submitted did not align with long-standing precedent guiding such appointments. According to the Governor General, efforts were made to resolve the procedural issue directly with the Commission. But he says after those failed, he sought a formal legal opinion from the Attorney General's chambers to ensure his actions were constitutionally sound. Sir Patrick says that opinion was later shared with the Commission, which complied with the required administrative precedent. He says that compliance came earlier this week. Given this resolution, the Governor General says he will now officially move forward with appointing the people recommended. Investigations are underway into the death of a female student on the University of the West Indies Mona campus early Thursday morning. She is identified as a 20-year-old Victoria Brown Hanley. She was a marketing student residing on the George Elaine Hall. Commanding Officer for the Area 4 Police, ACP Michael Phipps, says law enforcement is interested in CCTV footage from the dorm.
We are doing our investigations where we seek to record a few statements, interview a few persons, and of course, in a short while, we should be viewing a CCTV footage that may have recorded something. We are at the very early stage of our investigations, and there's not much that we can say at this time, except to say that we are at this time treating this particular incident as a death investigation.
It's reported that Hanley's body was found by her roommate sometime after 6 in the morning. Preliminary reports suggest that she may have taken her own life. ACP Phipps says a post-mortem is expected to be done soon.
Very critical to our investigation in terms of ascertaining the cause of death. We hope to have a very early post-mortem done.
ACP Michael Phipps, Commanding Officer for the Area 4 Police. Director of Communications at the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency MOCA, Major Basil Jarrett, says its push to crack down on lawbreakers has been boosted by the strong cooperation of the public.
I think the best demonstration of that is the anti-corruption tip line, which we launched about 2 or 3 years ago. That tip line is something that we envision as a critical enabler that will get the public on board in the anti-corruption fight. It's powered at the back end by Crime Stop. We chose to partner with Crime Stop because of that very impressive record they have. They've never had a source compromise in their 36 years, and we thought they were the ideal partner to go down this road with. And I think the response from the public suggests that we made the right choice.
MOCA has achieved a 93% conviction rate over the last 2 years. The 2-year period saw the agency successfully prosecuting 30 out of 32 cases. The most recent case involved a $222 million fraud uncovered at the Institute of Sports in Sports. 3 men were found guilty last month, but the 3 women charged all walked free. Major Jarrett says MOCA leans heavily on its law enforcement partners in the JCF and JDF.
In addition to the support we get from the public, it would be remiss of me not to mention the support we get from our partners in the anti-corruption and organized crime fight. We get a lot of support from the JCF. MOCA is a fairly small agency. Some of our operations are very resource intensive, so we turn to the police whenever we need additional boots on the ground. Not just the police, but my other place across the road from us over at the JDF. Very important partners in what we do. There's the Financial Investigations Division, Tax Administration, Jamaica Customs, PICA. All of these bodies are critical enablers allowing us to do what we do.
Major Basil Jarrett, Director of Communications at MOCA. Major Jarrett was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday evening. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin is reporting that point-to-point inflation for September stood at 2.1%. This is an increase from the 60-year record low of 1.2% recorded in August. This means inflation remains well below the Bank of Jamaica's target rate of 4 to 6% for a third successive month. The leading contributors to the inflation rate outturn were the Housing, Water, Electricity, Gas and Other Fuels Division and Restaurants and Accommodation Services. Director General of the Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin, Leisha de Latibader, says several lessons learned from the 2022 Housing and Population Census will be applied for the 2031 survey.
As we are coming out of the 2022 Population and Housing Census, we are beginning to plan for the 2031. And with that, we take the lessons that we have learned from this one. And there are a couple of lessons that we have learned, which includes the fact that we have to tighten our internal operation. We had challenges, we've learned from them, we're adjusting. As well, we also note that our data collection instruments have to be smaller. It means that because persons no longer are willing to sit and talk with us for an extended period of time. So for the 2031 census, one of our lessons learned is that we need a smaller data collection instrument.
The 2022 census was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, but there was a litany of other problems: recruiting and retaining workers, incomplete data sets, and inaccessibility to gated communities. These caused a significant delay in the completion of the exercise. Latibader says Statin intends to explore alternative data collection methods.
We also know that we have to embrace self-enumeration, web questionnaires, and deploy that better so that persons are more concerned now about giving their personal information to people. So those are some of the lessons that we've learned. We've also started an initiative supported again by the United Nations Statistics Division called the DATAS Project, otherwise known as Data for SIDS, where we are working with our partners in government on the development of enhanced georeferenced information for future censuses. There are also discussions that are ongoing with local partners about how we can access administrative data to improve the collection processes. So there are several lessons learned. There are several things that we have thought about.
Leisha Delati-Bader, Director General of Statin. She was addressing a quarterly media briefing earlier this week. Meanwhile, the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC, is defending Jamaica's use of the model-based approach to complete its 2022 census. ECLAC's regional advisor on social statistics, Andres Gutierrez, says Jamaica is not unique in its use of that methodology.
Absolutely not. Here in the region, we have some countries, like 6 or 7 countries that are right now using this kind of solution to fill the gaps where the census did not reach a complete count. Here we are supporting National Statistical Office through the use of smaller estimation models and modeling population to fill those gaps, so there are a lot of experience out there that has been published, and here in the region, in the Caribbean and in Latin America, we have some like 6 or 7 national statistical offices that have been implemented these kind of methods.
A model-based census uses statistical models to combine data from various sources, such as surveys, administrative records, and geospatial information, to create estimates of population characteristics. The methodology was used to ensure the accuracy of the 2022 population and housing census, following less than ideal survey coverage. However, this brought into question the integrity of the final product. But Gutierrez says the methodology has been tried and proven over 60 years.
So in that sense, the topic is not new. We are not experimenting here. We have a very strong and consolidated literature review that is not only based on the academic side, but also on the implementation that national statistics offices have been done for the last 20 years. So here in the statistics division at ECLAC, we are very serious about that. We are not recommending anything new that have not been implemented before in the field of official statistics, and we are very concerned that the national statistical offices adhere to this principle, that every single methodology has been proven in other, experiences.
Andres Gutierrez, ECLAC's regional advisor on social statistics. Chairman of the Education Transformation Oversight Committee, ETOC, Dr. Adrian Stokes, says an online portal will soon be established to allow Jamaicans to apply to serve as board directors for schools across the country. Dr. Stokes commended the Ministry of Education for advancing efforts to make the process more transparent and accessible to citizens.
They have now set up a portal where Jamaicans can go and look at the various schools and put in their application, and those applications will be assessed, and based on competencies and the specific needs of schools, directors will be chosen. Very, very important. And that is something that I want to commend all involved to get that portal up and running and to begin to publicize and to get actual applications in to improve the quality that we have. That's very, very important, right? Improving the quality is something that we're going after.
He notes that the implementation of the portal forms part of a broader measure to strengthen accountability and improve the management of school boards. According to Dr. Stokes, the initiative will give more qualified Jamaicans the opportunity to play a role in shaping educational outcomes at the institutional level.
Jamaica operates a relatively decentralized governance system. School boards play a very, very important role. When you look at the performance of schools, that performance correlates highly with the quality of the board. So improving our school boards is something that the ministry, ETOC, is very focused on.
Dr. Adrian Stokes, chairman of ETOC, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday. Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the ministry is committed to establishing more diagnostic centers for children with special needs. She was speaking during a media briefing on Thursday.
I think another area we have to focus on, and we are focusing on in the ministry, is actually having more special needs units across the system and also doing more diagnostic work, because so often you hear, I have a child, I think they may have a special needs, but I have no one, I'm not able to get the diagnostics done. And so we are building a new one at Case in Portland so that those in the east don't have to come all the way to Kingston. So we're doing that.
She says greater focus will be placed on enabling persons living with disabilities to be embraced in the workplace.
Also, very importantly in our policy, we're looking at pathways to work. Too often, our children with disabilities or special needs are not able to work. They are important. All of you are important. I want to see you up here too. I want to see you leading a ministry. And that's how we have to see all of our children. All our children have tremendous potential.
And Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, a Minister of Education. In international news, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is set to meet with the U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington on Friday. On the agenda is whether the U.S. should arm Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles capable of striking deep into Russia. The advanced missiles have a range of 2,500 kilometers. It will be Zelensky's third visit to the U.S. since January, amid the ongoing war with Russia. Their meeting comes a day after Trump said great progress was made in a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Asked earlier this week if the U.S. was considering giving Ukraine the missiles, Trump said, quote, "We'll see. I may," end quote. When asked about the same prospect following his call with Putin, the president said the U.S. can't deplete its stockpile as it needs the missiles too. And that's it for the news at 7.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:17.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Oterius, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 27 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville, 23 degrees Celsius.
Mysterious, magical, mesmerizing. Wouldn't you like to experience the natural beauty of the Northern Light? You could be the lucky one if you use your cards right. Spend with your Sagicor Bank credit card from September 29 to November 13, 2025, and you could win an all-inclusive cruise vacation for two along the Norwegian coast to see the Northern Lights. Chase the Northern Lights with your Sagicor Bank credit card. The more you spend it, the closer you are to your dream adventure. Enjoy the best rewards ever. Conditions apply. Authorized by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
One money, two combo. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo, that is it. Any two combo, double deal quick. It's a good look, pick any two you wish. Whopper Junior bacon and cheese, my favorite. American chicken sandwich or grab a big fish. Plus 2 small fries and 2 small drink. Double deal for my money and it have me a sing. One money, two combo. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo, get BK double deal now on a Burger King. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo.
That time of the morning when we get our second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Morning again, Donna, TT.
Morning,
and and our listeners are traveling and motoring public. Yes, good morning, and all our transport operators, investors. Yes, if you're on Olivia Road, which is off coming from the Manor Park area, heading on to Arcadia Drive, Roseberry Drive, then onto Arcadia Drive. It's pretty good movement still. And then when you go around to Barbican Road, coming from Grandstand Road, it's steady all the way. Vehicles are coming out of Arcadia Drive onto Barbican Road. Same thing, Russ Lights onto Barbican Road and Bertopher Lane. It's a steady flow going all the way around the East Kings House Road. Then there are vehicles coming from the Jacksville area, coming onto Barbican Road. Some is heading towards Whitcomb Road, which is off Barbican Road again. Those areas take into the Old Pastures and all of that, Charlemont Avenue, Charlemont Drive. But when you go around to the Ligony area, which is Barbican Road, going to Ligony, where they're going left towards Olop Road or right towards Hope Road, that is where you're going to have some traffic. And the traffic is in that vicinity, where they're going up towards Papine or coming from Papine onto Olop Road. And also, if you're across the other section, Mona Road, you also will have traffic there. But going down Olop Road, it's steady, just in the vicinity of the Commissioner's office, going all the way down past Stanton Terrace and going further down. It's pretty good movement in those areas. It's even good going down Mountain View Avenue and coming up Mountain View Avenue. And there's places like Arthur Wynne Drive that takes you around to some Redcomb. The movement is also good. And further down towards Beaner Road and down to Winwood Road and Langston Road, those areas are moving. Yeah, vehicles are moving, but it's steady. And if you're on the eastern side, coming out of Bull Bay, Harborview is where you have a little build up there at the roundabout. And again, it's clear coming onto Sir Florida Glasgow Highway. So I would say it's not too bad compared to previous, when schools are in session. It's building, and I suspect by the time we finish this report, there's traffic in many other areas. But I can tell you from now, Half a Tree is busy, and Retirement Road off Russell Road into Crossroads, that area is also busy. So there are areas that you have traffic building. So have yourselves a great weekend, and as usual, at Street Smart, your safety is our concern. It's over to you, Tona.
Thank you so much, Ludlow, for that second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Up next, the front page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
.23. Thank you so much for staying with us. We turn to the front page. Well, on the front page this morning, the Parliament is moving to relax the requirements and expand the number of offences that can be expunged from a person's criminal record. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck opened the debate on the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Amendment Act 2025 in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
The sentence, even of expungible offences, is over 5 years. It still cannot be expunged. In other words, even if the offence is expungible, once the sentence is over 5 years, then it still cannot be expunged. It was, yes. So you will see today that what we're trying to do is to relax it somewhat. So for example, we are going to lift the sentence so that expungible offenses will now be eligible, notice not entitled, eligible for expungement if the sentence was less than 10 years. In other words, moving from 5, we're moving to 10.
That's Justice Minister Delroy Chuck. There are potentially thousands of Jamaicans who could benefit from the legislation if passed. However, this could only happen after a period of rehabilitation where the individual has committed no additional offense. On top of adjusting the maximum sentence that can be expunged from 5 years to 10, the Justice Minister says certain additional offences will also be included. Minister Chuck says particular emphasis is placed on drug-related offences due to the previous criminal prohibition on marijuana in the country.
There are many cases that come to the expungement committee appealing to the minister for these offences to be expunged. The truth of the matter is we have refused virtually all because the third schedule restricts it. So over the last 2 years, for example, we have had over 7,000 applications for expungement and over 1,000 have actually been refused, and most of them are for drug offences. And so the opportunity has now arisen for us to change that, and in this legislation we have removed, so persons who have been convicted for drug offences, have served their time and have had a period of rehabilitation. This is an opportunity to give such persons a second chance.
That's Justice Minister Delroy Chuck. Well, Minister Chuck left the debate open for any parliamentarian who wished to contribute at a later date. But for some reactions and insights on that debate being opened in the Parliament, we are joined by Senior Attorney Bert Samuels and Criminologist Dr. Jason Mackay. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, my brothers and friends.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. Well, let me start with you, Counsel. What's your reaction to this development as it relates to the amendments, the proposed amendments?
I welcome it. The Parliament 37 years ago in 1988 came up with this very, very healthy approach to the human side of life. And with the lapse of 37 years, there was an intervention in 2014 which allowed for, convictions which were more than one conviction. So I welcome the minister's intervention. He also was a practicing lawyer, so he would know of young people who were astray, were convicted, and have decided to change their lives. It's the human side of the law which is welcome. My own criticism has been over the years that the Parliament has been preoccupied with, attending to the prosecutorial arm of the criminal justice system. So I welcome something that is being done for accused. So lifting it to 10 years, is that it's now you can do it 10 years or less. And also the ganja laws, there's a different global treatment of the use of marijuana. So we are just complying with marijuana is no longer seen as a criminalized drug, and therefore I welcome it. So it is modernizing the approach to sentencing and forgiveness. That's my take on it, and I congratulate the minister.
Dr. Mackay, do you share the same view?
Oh yeah, very similar. I welcome it as well. I believe that having a criminal record restricts you so significantly in Jamaica that there's almost no plan post-release, because you can't work in the government, you can't work in the police force, obviously, or the army, you can't work in the security industry. No private bodies, large corporate entities, whether the food industry or a hotel or anything, will hire you without a background check, and the background check is going to eliminate you from employment. And then now obviously you can't get a firearm, but it is even extended now to, in a lot of cases, if you're even just charged. So it's almost like there is no way to go once you've been charged to fit back into society. So I do welcome it. What I would like, though, is that sexual offences should be subject to a review of the file before they expunge. I don't think it should be a general expungement of all sexual offences that were served over 10 years, under 10 years. I think the offences that involve abduction, involve gang rape and that type of thing should be treated differently from other offences. That is particularly as it relates to sexual offences, but in general, particularly as it relates to the marijuana, I think it's a good thing.
On that matter of the drug-related offences, while the minister singled out marijuana, but one assumes that this would be a blanket coverage of all drug-related offences, that's all, including cocaine and other hard drugs. Does that raise a concern?
Well, I don't find that the courts in Jamaica are that hard drugs as people may think. I mean, if you look on persons who are found in possession of cocaine, the fines are crack cocaine. The fines are very minimal from the last time I've actually been in a case with any. I don't recall any significant fines or incarceration period for it. So I think though that each case should rest on its own merit. I don't think it should be a blanket situation. But if you're caught, for example, importing large quantities of cocaine, but you didn't get 10 years, I think that should have some degree of consideration, because that now puts you in the realm of organized crime. So I don't think anything should be mandatory and blanket. I think each one should be subject to consideration and review.
And what about the period, 10 years, rather than, say, raising it higher to, say, 15 or so much? What say you, Bert Samuels? Do you think there should be a cap?
If the government has doubled it, I can't trouble them on that one. They've doubled it. Except that, as my friend just related to minimum sentences. Some of the minimum sentences, I have a personal problem with them. The imitation firearm, of course, drugs, firearm offences, you can't get expungement. But the 10-year is eligible, and the minister made it clear that you can apply. It doesn't mean that the boy is going to give it. But back to the sexual offences touched on by my friend.
Right.
There's already a provision in the law, which is
Section 9(2).
Yeah, and 3, it says if it is a person of tender age, a person under 16 who you have had sex with, then they will look at, and you apply, then there are 3 considerations: whether when you committed the offense you were in a position of trust, whether you used threatening or attempt to use violence, and then if the person is less than 4 years or under, then the victim, then you cannot go. So it does give some conditions for as treated sexual offences with 16 and under age group that you have to it might be eligible, but you can't get through if you're in a position of trust, a teacher, a father, whatever. So those checks and balances are already in. I must say, when people are young, they're early 20s, late teenage, we do stupid things, all of us, and as been said by my friend, you're scarred for the rest of your life. And if you want people, unemployment is associated with crime. So if a person cannot get a job and has been rehabilitated, we are just making it worse for ourselves. Mm-hmm. We are increasing the criminal population. So I salute the minister's revisit for this 37-year-old law, and I welcome it.
Gentlemen, hold the line first. Let's go for a short break.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is...
It's 7:33.
Visit Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore, for all your prescription needs, gifts, personal care, household, and stationery items. The temperature by Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore is...
It's 28 degrees Celsius here in the capital city, Kingston, 27 out west in Montego Bay, and 23 in Mandeville.
One money, 2 combo. Burger King pick 2, come back again. Yo, that is it. Any 2 combo, double deal. It's a good look, pick any 2 you wish. Whopper, Junior, bacon and cheese, my favorite. American chicken sandwich or grab a big fish. Plus 2 small fries and 2 small drink. Double deal for my money and it have me a sing. One money, 2 combo. Burger King pick 2, come back again. Yo, get BK double deal now on a Burger King. Burger King pick 2, come back again. Yo.
all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
.34, thank you so much for staying with us. We are joined by criminologist Dr. Jason Mackay and senior attorney Bert Samuels, speaking about developments on the criminal expungement bill, the amendment to that bill, the debate opened by the Justice Minister, King's Counsel Delroy Chuck. In the discussion, and I just on an editorial note, gentlemen, I just want to point out, just checked, I wanted to ensure that I was correct, so I took the time to check it. The third schedule of the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act, which is the Expungement Act as we'll call it in short, based on Section 3, which refers to this third schedule, offences for which convictions may not be expunged. As it relates to rape, for example, that would fall under the Sexual Offences Act. Any offence under Section 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, etc. under the Sexual Offences Act cannot be expunged. And when you cross-reference it with the Sexual Offences Act, that would mean any offence of rape, grievous sexual assault, marital rape, incest, sexual grooming of a child, sexual intercourse with person under 16. Based on the current act, the third schedule, these offences cannot be expunged. And so, Dr. Mackay, that position does not seem to be changing based on what the Justice Minister says, and that concern might not be there.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear, because sexual offenses have long-term consequences to the victims. Mm-hmm. They should have long-term consequences to the offender as well.
Mm-hmm. Very well. So, back to you then, senior attorney, as it relates to this act, now that we've cleared up that part. As it relates, though, to concerns of recidivism, for example, and the impact on rehabilitation efforts, does this help it, or does it, impact it in a negative way?
Yeah, I think, if you look at how the community treats with a person who has been to prison, and you come out, you're named prison bud, people scorn you. Our experience in this field is that there are people who go to prison and learn to read there, learn to understand that they have done something wrong, and they want to start a new life. And that might be a majority of them, but we have to care for those who are, in the minority. And once that scar comes upon you, can't get employment, people write you off, you more likely will go back into prison because you feel so hopeless. And the recidivism that you speak of is no doubt some of that population in that group is because of frustration and hopelessness.
But Bert Samuels, the concern though in terms of rehabilitation, shouldn't that be the focus? Because you have to do that aspect in terms of holding down a job, becoming a functional member of society, and avoiding falling back into recidivism before you can get to the point of expungement.
Yeah, that's true, because you're going to have to get letters from JPs, people in the community who support you. They are going to do their own investigations as to what you are. So part of the good thing about it is that it challenges the person who comes out of prison to conduct himself in such a way over the period of time of rehabilitation. So they call that the period of rehabilitation. Mm-hmm. And you go to the board and say, I am rehabilitated. These are my, I work here, I do so and so. But as Mr. Mackay said, some people can't be employed. So, part of rehabilitation is to demonstrate to the board that you are a useful citizen so that you're in a catch-22 situation. If you can't get the employment because you're treated and there's a scar on you, but you have to prove that you're a worthwhile citizen, you're in a bad vice there.
Mm-hmm. But As it relates to that, though, a lot of people will say, and I want to bring in Dr. Mackay on this one, there are a lot of people who will say, no, you can't expunge the record because we're going to know them criminal history. Is there a reason why they were convicted in the first place? Is there any drawback?
There is, of course, that right that you should be able to know the background of somebody that you're implying. But that is why, there's a process that they didn't reoffend. There's certain factors and checks and balances in place that makes the system be able to verify. And because the fact that being charged is now asked in most of the important jobs like entry into the security industry, particularly the firearm licensing authority, wants to know if you've ever been arrested and charged. Even if it's not on your criminal record, the arrest you'd have to answer honestly. And most corporate entities that are doing background checks, the form that you fill up asks for arrest, charge, or convictions now. So it does allow you to know a little bit more about the person you're hiring, because they would have to answer honestly on the arrest and charge aspect of the questionnaire. But if we're going to be serious about re-entry of persons into society who come out of prison, then we're going to have to be looking about expungement has to be part of that process. Because I don't think we're serious about it. They're literally blocked from any form of employment, and I think it should be the other way around. I think particularly the construction industry, government contracts should be mandated that they have to hire a few of them on every site, a certain percentage, or you're really forcing them to reoffend.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Professor Mackay, because when you talk about this matter of reintegrating ex-convicts into society, it seems that we just throw them out on the streets and say, good luck to you. Shouldn't there be programs and facilities available to them in order for them to make good on that promise of rehabilitation?
Well, there is some stuff going on with, particularly those on parole, but it's not realistic, because it still comes down to employment opportunities. That's what it really comes down to, and you're left on your own. And if there's so much barriers to entry into employment, particularly government employment, then you're never going to be able to fit back into society, especially because they have included the arrest and charge aspect of it on the questionnaires that you are required to fill up before employment. So if you lie on those forms, technically you've committed an offense. This is not being serious about reintegration.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make a point.
Yes.
In fact, when your conviction is expunged, the law says that any reference to it can become a criminal offense, so that the person is the conviction is expunged, and you go there and put it on radio that the person was in fact charged and convicted. The Rehabilitation Act makes it clear that you get a clean sheet, and I really think that is very good, because it says the person is treated as though they were never ever convicted, and that's the great thing about this law, that you get a chance to make a new approach to life, and I welcome all of this in this law.
Well, if I may say though, if that is the situation as I'm now being informed, which is great, the government entities need to stop on their employment questionnaires and their applications for certain privileges. We have to remove the arrest and charge component. Because if you've been convicted and it's expunged, but you cannot apply for the job in the security industry because they want to know if you've been arrested and charged. You can't apply for a firearm permit because the question is saying, have you been arrested and charged? Or arrested and not even charged. You know what I mean? Or charged and not even convicted.
Right.
So that needs to be addressed too, because the primary person who practices that is the government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember Section 31 says that any person who dismisses or excludes a person from any office, profession or occupation because he has a spent or expunged conviction, you know that is reasonable cause to suspect the spent conviction is not required to disclose, shall be guilty of an offense. So and you're right, Dr. McCoy, this is so interesting, because Section 31 says once it's expunged, and if you find out that the person had a conviction, you dismiss them from your employment, then you are guilty of an offense. So the state is telling us that we must forget and forgive.
But
that's employment, that's not gun firearm license.
But Brett Samuels, on that matter of being simply turned away from employment because you have been charged with a crime, let's say you've not actually been convicted, you were found innocent of said crime after the court has processed you, then isn't that a violation of the principle of innocent until proven guilty? A genuine violation of a right, so to speak?
That's debatable. I'll tell you, as an attorney, if I got charged with a criminal offense and got acquitted, the Bar Association the General Legal Counsel rather, can look at the case and see what circumstances I was acquitted and still hold it against me. I think Dr. Mackay knows that sometimes you go to court and your case is dismissed because the witness didn't turn up, or something else, which some people are saying is a kind of procedural acquittal, not by way of a trial. And so sometimes there are organizations which want to look, and the Firearm Licensing Authority too looks at how you were acquitted, and they investigate and they go to the court and look at your file to see what circumstances led to your acquittal. So that comes back to your point: is that the presumption of innocence being abused there, or what? So it's very debatable, but it happens to my own profession. I can still be dismissed from being a lawyer, although I was acquitted.
Certainly.
It also happens in the police force, where you may be acquitted of a crime that you're charged for, but you may still be removed from the police officer because of being a threat to public safety or for the public interest and that type of thing. There's also a contractual aspect of it. Your contract cannot be renewed. So, acquittal doesn't necessarily mean that everything goes away. Expungement is supposed to mean that everything goes away.
Very well. Very interesting discussion, gentlemen. I wish I could continue it, but we have to go. Thank you so much for joining us, Sir Brett Samuels and Dr. Mackay.
Thank you very much.
Good. Very interesting discussion. We go for the break.
Original, spicy, or barbecue. This on a normal sandwich. A Bird Shack fried chicken bring the best. Hot, crispy, juicy. Best chicken sandwich ever. Come get yours in Montego Bay and Ocho Rios.
The time brought to you by Bird Shack Fried Chicken is
40 minutes to 8 o'clock.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
28 degrees in Kingston, 28 in Montego Bay, and 23 in Mandeville.
Every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Need a little extra this Christmas? Infinity Cooperative Credit Union has the solution with our Infinity Merry Money promotion. Whether it's sprucing up your home, upgrading your car, or covering holiday expenses, we've got you. From October 10 to December 15, borrow $500,000 or more and you can be entered to win your share of $500,000 in cash prizes. Get the money you need and make your Christmas truly merry with Infinity Merry Money promotion. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? Geoland Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. Geoland Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
11 minutes going up to 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're still on the front page, but we're changing gears. Investigations are underway into the death of a female student on the University of the West Indies Mona campus early Thursday morning. She's identified as 20-year-old Victoria Brown Hanley. She was a marketing student residing on the George Lane Hall. Commanding Officer for the Area 4 Police, ACP Michael Phipps, says law enforcement is interested in CCTV footage from the door.
We are doing our investigations where we seek to record a few statements, interview a few persons, and of course, in a short while, we should be viewing a CCTV footage that may have recorded something. We are at the very early stage of our investigations, and there's not much that we can say at this time, except to say that we are at this time treating this particular incident as a death investigation.
That's Assistant Commissioner of Police Michael Phipps. It's reported that Hanley's body was found by her roommates sometime after 6 in the morning. Preliminary reports suggest she may have taken her own life. ACP Phipps says a post-mortem is expected to be done soon.
Very critical to our investigation in terms of ascertaining the cause of death. We hope to have a very early post-mortem done.
That's ACP Michael Phipps, the commanding officer for the Area 4 Police. Well, we are now joined by the campus registrar, the Mona campus, Dr. Donovan Stanberry. Good morning, Doc.
Hi, morning.
Thank you so much for taking some time to join us, sir. Well, what can you tell us as it relates to information concerning the death of this 20-year-old Victoria Brown Hanley?
Well, you have heard from the police in St. Andrews Central. I mean, we cannot add anything more to it. I mean, the student was discovered dead. We triggered our protocol. The police was called in. They came in, they did their thing. You have just played the clip what the police says. So, like you, we are waiting on the conclusion of the investigation.
Very well. But do you have any information as it relates to how the student was prior to her being found dead? Any information coming to your desk as it relates to her well-being before this incident?
No, I haven't heard anything about that particular student prior to her death, no. And there, as far as we know, I have not heard anything untoward that she was behaving in any way out of norm or anything like that.
Very well.
How has this impacted the students at the university? I can imagine there's been some level of shock.
Well, naturally. I mean, naturally, any death will shock people, particularly in a setting where you really live together as a family in a hall of residence. So, I mean, you can imagine that the students were quite impacted. So we triggered all our support system. We mobilized our chaplaincy service, our counseling service. The entire executive management of the UA was down there for a considerable time yesterday, just to support our students, to pray with them, to sort of comfort and reassure them. I mean, we did the same for the family who came on the scene, and you can imagine the trauma, really, and the grief overwhelming grief of the mother. So we were there to provide support and comfort, and those services continue to be available to our students. We had an impromptu town hall with them, right in the hall space there, and our principal was there, the entire management was there, the Office of Student Services and Development personnel were there, our chaplains were there, they came in quickly. In fact, one of our chaplains called me last night at about after 7. He was just leaving up there. So we stayed with the students and we provided the support that they required. Of course, it's going to take some time to heal, but the good thing is that we have the systems in place for things like this.
Very well. Well, thank you so much, Sir Registrar, for joining us, and certainly we'll reach back out to you as the information progresses, yeah?
All the best.
Thank you, sir. And do we take the break? We have with us now the president of the UA Students Guild, Rashawn Winter. Good morning, Mr. Winter.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good. What can you tell us from the student government point of view? What are the students saying to you? What is their mood? What's happening on that hall, Georgia Lane?
Well, let me first say that here at the UMONA, we are really a closely knit community. We're a closely knit family. There is a sort of communal vibe to how we operate, so you can appreciate that the community is deeply struck. And so we now are in a moment of grief. There has been shock and grief. The community is saddened. But as always, we try our best to be united and be there for each other. So we're just trying to rally with the students. Certainly, the UMONA Guild Council was present yesterday morning. The entire team was there. We talked with our students, particularly those who live on that block. And we're committed to being there with them right throughout.
Very well.
And she was a hall resident, so certainly there's a more closer, tight-knit group when it comes to those who actually reside on the campus itself. Do you know anything about the young lady in terms of what year she was in, what she was like before this unfortunate incident?
Well, I think she's a final year student. I can say that I don't have any. There has never been any impression that she could be shown in any negative light. She has always been a humble and kind student. While we're not personally friends, whenever I have interacted with her and seen her on the campus, she was never up to any trouble, never loud, and she was just always somebody who goes about her business kindly and politely with each other, or with her peers. So you can understand why the community would be struck.
Any indication from any of her friends or anyone in and around her that there were probably any issues mentally, stress, any indication of what might have been happening to her before?
Well, no, that information has not come to us.
Okay. And given what has occurred, safety on campus has always been an issue. Does this spark it even further, or is it being separated as, not a part of the issue?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be in a position to tell whether or not it's connected because...
No, when I ask connected, I'm talking about the reactions of the students. Are they concerned for safety on campus, or are they not associating this with the usual safety issues on campus?
Well, I mean, we're constantly lobbying the university administration as it relates to the matter of safety. Just a few weeks ago, we met with our campus security manager, reviewing the security apparatus. I sense that there are a lot of proposals that should go to the university's Financial and General Purposes Committee for approval this year. This year will really be a year of advocacy for security. So that is constant, even before this incident. That is still a live conversation for us.
So you said this was her final year, so she would be wrapping up her courses at this time?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Okay, so that is President of the UE Guild, Rashawn Winter. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really an unfortunate incident to hear about the passing of a student, especially one so young at the age of 20. You never want to hear that kind of scenario where somebody at that age, we still await the investigations of the police to see what exactly took place. But regardless, it is an unfortunate incident where that student has passed.
Yeah, and our condolences. We send our condolences to the students at the UWI, the residents of the George Lane Hall, and certainly last but definitely not least, perhaps even greatest, her parents and her family. We send our condolences to you. It can never be easy to lose a young one. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. And Siobhan, the reality is there have also been instances where this has happened, not necessarily while they're in university, but some have graduated and soon after taken their own life as well. So we don't know what the cause is. We're being told that investigations will continue. We've been told as well that it's been treated as a death investigation. The police is interested in getting some footage, and they are trying to, interview the relevant persons, residents, etc., in order to, come to a fulsome understanding as to the circumstances surrounding the death of young Miss Victoria Brown Hanley. Very unfortunate, and we certainly send our condolences to them, and to her roommate, whoever found her, the roommate, certainly can't be an easy experience as well. And we're being told from the university's point of view that the chaplains have been activated, the counseling has been activated, they've been spending time with the students, and certainly I'd imagine they're spending time with that roommate who pounced upon Victoria's body and made the relevant alarms to the authorities. Yeah. And
it's good to have these protocols in place, because it is always a very delicate matter when somebody has passed in such a very intimate setting as a hall of residence where so many people have to interact with that space. And
it's like a big family, Siobhan. It's like a big family. You see them every day, you spend most of your time with them. It's like a big family. So they will be feeling it. Yeah. And early on the front page as well, Siobhan, we dealt with the opening of the debate from the Justice Minister. I think it is very progressive, actually. Increase the years from the maximum being, I think, 5 to 10 years, and opening up some of the categories as it relates to what cannot be expunged, that cannot be expunged, especially given the change in treatment of marijuana, for example. I think that is very progressive, and it's basically bringing in tune and in line the various elements of justice where those things are concerned. Rehabilitation is important when it comes to criminal justice reform, and this allows for even more people to be rehabilitated. Interestingly, Siobhan, in Parliament, the Justice Minister said up to 7,000 people apply to the committee, and simply out of it being in the third schedule, they have not been able to grant them that expungement because the law does not allow it. Yeah, so I think it is a very progressive move, and certainly lawyers will welcome it. So, good move, Justice Minister Chuck.
I agree, but
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
When you want the food shell and make the rice well, just gimme me Kendall. Right on. Kendel. Gimme me Kendall.
Another quality product from the CariMed Group.
Just gimme me Kendall.
The time by Kendall Foods. The taste of quality is...
It's 8:03.
Success, powered by learning. The Temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is...
It's 28 degrees Celsius here in the capital city, Kingston, 28 out west in Montego Bay, and 23 in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Friday morning, I'm Tona Thomas. Starting next Tuesday, October 21, written, yard and road tests will not be available at the Island Traffic Authority's Solofield location for a period of 5 weeks. This as the driver's license and learner's permit section of the facility will be undergoing repair works. Only motor vehicle inspection services will be offered from the location during the period. The ITA says the customers who have scheduled appointments for learner's permits and driver's licenses will be facilitated at the Spanish Town Road Service Hub. During the period of closure, customers have the alternative of using the service hubs at Spanish Town Road, Harbourview, or Spanish Town. The ITA reminds motorists that certificates of fitness are now issued digitally and should not be affected by the repair work. The Agro Investment Corporation, AIC, is advancing its mandate to boost local crop production and has introduced 300 Wambugu apple seedlings to its agro parks. The initiative, which involves collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, is set to kick off at the agro parks in St. Catherine and Clarendon. It aims to support important substitution of apples while diversifying the earning potential of farmers. The Wambugu apple is a crisp, juicy red variety similar to American apples. It was developed by Kenyan farmer Peter Wambugu for warmer tropical climates. Wambugu's daughter Catherine is in Jamaica and led a training session at the Ebony Park Agro Park in Clarendon on Thursday. The AIC says the farmers have shown tremendous interest in the project. It says between 70 to 80 farmers will benefit from the initial seedling distribution. Finally, the Clarendon Policing Division is investigating the circumstances surrounding the shooting death of a woman at her home in the parish Thursday morning. She has been identified as 46-year-old Alicia Williams, otherwise called Bip, of Ashley Hall Housing Scheme, Water Lane in the parish. Reports from the Mapen Criminal Investigations Branch are that family members heard loud explosions around 2:40 a.m. and went to investigate. Upon opening the front door, they stumbled upon Williams's body on the floor in a pool of blood. She was pronounced dead at hospital. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Friday morning.
Sagicor is spreading the word. Catch it early.
Catch it early.
Catch it early. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Early detection can save your life. Don't drop the ball. Get screened for breast cancer today. Do your self-examinations regularly and schedule your mammogram. Make sure you're prepared. Get Sagicor Life Critical Illness Insurance. Access up to 25% of your sum insured on early diagnosis of breast cancer. Conditions apply. Catch it early.
One money, two combo. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo, that is it. Any two combo, double deal quick. It's a good look, pick any two you wish. Whopper Junior bacon and cheese, my favorite. American chicken sandwich or grab a big fish. Plus 2 small fries and 2 small drink. Double deal for my money and it have me a sing. One money, two combo. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo, get BK double deal now on a Burger King. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Ten minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying with us. Well, the second Marcus Garvey Symposium kicks off on October 23 in Guyana, commemorating the Pan-African Leaders 1937 tour. Events will take place across the Eastern Caribbean, including Trinidad, St. Vincent, Barbados, Dominica, and St. Kitts. The symposium aims to promote unity, empowerment, and self-determination among Caribbean nations. Well, the president of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, the UNIA, Stephen Golding, the founder of the Global Garvey Symposium series, is leading the initiative. He joins us now. Good morning, Mr. Golding.
Morning, who is it, Siobhan?
Said. He's speaking with Said.
Can you hear me?
You're hearing me, Mr. Golding?
Yeah, I am on the move, and I think I'm going through some little bad area spots. So if we get cut off, please call me back. It won't last long.
All right, very well. All right, well, first of all, the symposium kicks off October 23 in Guyana, commemorating the Pan-African Leaders Tour, Marcus Garvey's tour, 1937 tour. Tell us about that tour now and the significance of it.
That was Garvey's final tour of the Caribbean 3 years before he died. And 38, he held conventions and promoted his School of African Philosophy in the summers in Canada. And in 1937, after that, he did a tour of the Eastern Caribbean, including the countries of Antigua, St. Kitts, Dominica, coming right down through St. Vincent, Grenada, and then ended in Guyana. This was by boat, of course, so he visited each country twice, once on the way down and another time on the way up. Now, he gave a number of lectures, and of course, this was at the time of the labor unrest and the labor union movement in the Caribbean, which sort of preceded, political independence and so forth. So again, it sort of, underscores the impact that Garvey had on the region, not only in terms of mobilizing and creating the largest confraternity of black people, but also in galvanizing, the people of the region towards their political independence.
Okay. And tell us about the symposium that you'll be having in Guyana.
We started the Global Garvey Symposium series last year. Started right here in Jamaica. It's based on recognizing, Garvey's widespread influence and just how well-traveled he was. So we do symposiums at the actual places that Garvey spoke and on the actual anniversaries that he spoke. So I know you've seen the schedule. We started last year in Jamaica, in Lucy, Hanover, Lucy Baptist Church in January of last year, which was where Garvey gave one of his earliest lectures in 1916. This is 3 months before he travels to the United States and becomes the global icon that we know today. But we utilized the Eastern Caribbean tour last year, doing symposiums in St. Lucia, Barbados, Trinidad, and St. Vincent. This year we've expanded it to also include Guyana, Dominica, and St. Kitts. Last year, the feature was the first narrative movie made about Marcus Garvey entitled Mosiah. We also screened it here in Jamaica twice, so I hope a number of Jamaicans have seen it. It was an excellent film. It was well received in the Caribbean. This year, we are featuring a new book by yours truly entitled Daddy Marcus Nursery Rhymes, which is sort of a play on Mother Goose nursery rhymes. And what we're doing is repairing the narratives of these 300-400-year-old nursery rhymes that our teachers are still teaching the children, not only in Jamaica but in the region, which have no basis in their own culture, historical and cultural landscape. So, you know, we've changed Baba Black Sheep to Bobo Ashanti. We've changed Mary Mary quite contrary to Nanny Nanny quite uncanny. You know, Jack wasn't nimble. We said Kojo was nimble, and so forth and so forth. So I'm really excited about sharing that. We're partnering with a number of people. First of all, let me big up Inter-Caribbean Airways for being our main sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. They operate out of the Turks and Caicos, but it shows you just how profoundly our first national hero has impacted the region. They saw it was Marcus Garvey Symposiums. They wanted to be a part of it. We're also working with the Ministry of Education in St. Vincent and Barbados to bring out the teachers, because that's our target group this year. And we're talking about decolonizing the educational curriculum, particularly at the early childhood level.
Interesting. So you're targeting the teachers and the educators, and you're decolonizing the curriculum, especially at the early childhood level. Tell us some more about that and the significance of that.
Oh, that should have happened a long time ago. People, we don't understand just how impactful what we teach children at an early age is. And if we're not careful, we plant the seeds of their own destruction unknowingly. You know, for the last 8 years, I've focused really on looking at the nursery rhymes, looking at the history of some of these British and French nursery rhymes that we say, looking at the meaning behind them. You know, London Bridge is falling down. That was actually written when they were building London Bridge. You know, Mary Mary quite contrary is about Mary Queen of Scots and her unhealthy obsession with the guillotine. Many of our teachers don't know this history. Some of these nursery rhymes were written in the 1700s. Some of them go back to even the 1600s. And so, you know, it is a liberating experience to realize now that we have a history, we have a culture strong enough, whether we're looking at just the Caribbean history or going back to our ancestral history in Africa, that we should be able to create and tell our own stories, our own fairy tales, our own nursery rhymes that speak about our ancestors, people who look like us, that speak to our experience, our cultural frequency, and so that we can better empower our children and instill them with the confidence that Marcus Garvey said, if you don't have, you will be twice defeated in the race of life.
Makes sense. So, coming out of this symposium, what do you expect to happen? You expect them to go back to their various countries and advocate for the change in the curriculum?
Yeah, well, we're carrying copies of the book to share with them, and at each symposium on each island, we will create a new nursery rhyme based on the particular culture of that island. So if we, you know, for example, in St. Vincent, we might create something about the Black Caribs, the Garifuna, King Shotaway, who fought the second Black Carib War around the same time that our second Maroon War took place. There's people like Bossa in Barbados, Kofi in Guyana. So we're going to inspire these educators to look within self and to create for self and stop regurgitating what our colonizers brainwashed us with and what we've been passing down for several generations. These are annual symposiums, so each year there will be a different feature. You know, last year the feature was on film. We told the story of Garvey's trial, of how he was framed for mail fraud, and we did that right on the eve of Joe Biden, you know, giving him his second presidential pardon, albeit posthumously. This year the feature is on the narrative of the early childhood curriculums, stories, and fables. Next year, it will be something else. I can't tell you what it is yet.
I can't tell what it is yet. But I'm glad you mentioned next year, because you're doing this annually. How can the symposium create this large impact across the Caribbean to address some of the pressing challenges that are facing the Caribbean today?
Well, you know, that's why we like to work with governments in this area. That's like why we like to get the attention of these ministers, whether they are of education or even prime ministers. I understand Prime Minister Gonsalves will be at the symposium in St. Vincent. Okay. You know, we speak to the leaders, but we also speak to those in the trenches, like the classroom teachers, as will be the case this year. Last year, we spoke to the history of Marcus Garvey and correcting some of the propaganda, mispropaganda that has continued to follow his story and his history. Even though we have expunged his record in Jamaica and we've made him a first national hero, there were still people who believe that Marcus Garvey committed some sort of crime and didn't understand just how, the FBI, which was then the Bureau of Investigation led by J. Edgar Hoover, were obsessed with Garvey, and we produced documents that show that they had targeted Garvey even before they had any sort of idea of what crime they would charge him with. There was a memo from Hoover saying, we haven't found a reason to arrest him, but we're going to find one to deport him and get him out. Yeah. So we're sort of building on Garvey's legacy. Garvey was a man 100 years ahead of his time. Some of the things he was talking about 100 years, we are just seeing come to fruition now. For example, the establishment of a permanent forum for people of African descent at the UN, the establishment of an international day for people of African descent. All of these things took place since 2020. You know, this is within the last 4 or 5 years, and these are things that Garvey called for. Garvey urged us towards organizing from the 1920s. So there's so much to unpack in terms of Garvey's teachings, his philosophy, his black print, as we call it, for how to improve our lives, not only as Caribbean people, but as Africans globally. And so the reason for these symposiums is to create that platform to continue to dive deep into Garveyism, discuss its applications, and make sure the teachings are preserved for future generations.
Very well. And Mr. Golden, one more thing before you go. One more thing. You are a man of, just deep wealth of knowledge. Tell us one thing that is so colonial that we hold on to in our school system. One thing that we might not have been thinking about, but one thing that is also colonial that we need to get rid of, that Garvey would have advocated against. Like how you mentioned, Nani O and Kani. What is one other thing that you would say in our education system or in Jamaica that we hold on to colonially without even knowing that that's the root that we need to get rid of?
Well, I said a lot about that earlier in the conversation. I started with the nursery rhyme.
Right, that's why I want one more that we don't know about.
Well, you want to pick too much things out of my brain, man. You need to come to the symposium. But no, certainly, I tell you a controversial issue that is quite current right now is the move by some to have the Obia laws stricken from the books.
Right.
And the history that is being revealed, such as the fact that these Obia laws were enacted, particularly after the uprisings of enslaved Africans, chief among them, Chief Tachi. So these are colonial laws that, even though we look at them now with a Judeo-Christian sort of spectacle, and thinking of Obia as some voodoo, witchcraft, evil thing. The truth in history is that it was a very powerful tool for inspiring Africans to act for their own liberation and to challenge the brutality of the chattel slavery system that they suffered under. And I think our school, in teaching about these things, should be honest in positioning it in its rightful place. And so our children must understand that removing it from the law books is repairing and correcting actions that were taken to continue to oppress our ancestors and not get caught up in. We're not trying to change anybody's religion. We're trying to remove the stigma that was placed on Africa so that a minority of Europeans could oppress a majority of Africans by robbing them of their history, by teaching them that everything about their identity was backward, uncivilized, or evil, or blasphemous. We have to correct those things, and we have to find a way to do that at every level of the educational system. And so in our nursery rhymes, for example, the first one, when you open the book, Daddy Marcus Nursery Rhymes, is based on a repair of Humpty Dumpty who sat on the wall. And it begins with Jackman's song, his obia was strong. You know who Jackman's song is?
No.
If you go to St. Thomas, there is a memorial out there that speaks about a famous maroon Jamaican by the name of Three Finger Jack.
Three Finger Jack, yes.
His name was Jackman's song.
Jackman's
his
song.
obia was strong, right? I don't have the book in front of me, but it tells how he lost one finger and then lost two more. Right? Jack, Three Finger Jack, is also the first Jamaican, I believe, that became a blockbuster story. Back then they didn't have television, but there was a play called Three Finger Jack, the Obi, that was on the equivalent of Broadway in London in 1815.
Okay.
It was a top-selling play that people came out, gentry and royalty came to see, and it was based on the story of Three Finger Jack, who would rob the rich, right, and share the wealth with the Maroons and the enslaved Africans. Now, why don't our nursery rhymes tell us about that instead of telling us about Humpty Dumpty? Who is Humpty Dumpty to us, right? So history is very important. Marcus Garvey insisted that Negro history be taught to our children, and what he meant was the true story of Africa must be taught to our children to counteract the white supremacy curriculum that we've got. I know you're out of time.
Yes, I'm running out of time. And my producer giving me the wrap-up signal. You want to say a spinner and fast, but I want to ask you this question so badly, Sir Golding. Quickly, if you can answer it. The Pan-Africanists who never visited Africa. I'm sure a lot of people have asked about this.
I love that you bring that up, because even in looking at this tour of the Caribbean, there were several times that Garvey was prohibited from entering certain islands, such as Bermuda. One time they tried to bar him from entering Trinidad. We have to understand just how the colonial system saw Garvey as being a dangerous man. And as I said in his last tour of the Caribbean, it was during the labor unrest that led to political agitation that led to independence. So they were right in fearing Garvey, because his teachings represented not only liberation of our mind and liberation of our people, but liberation of our countries and nations that they have come to be. And for that reason, they barred him also from visiting Africa, because before Garvey died, there were only 3 independent countries in Africa, Ethiopia and Liberia, only 2 independent countries. And unfortunately, the British still had a strong enough hold to influence travel policies, because they control the ships, they control the immigration offices, whatever they were called at the time. And so there was a persona non grata placed on Garvey, prohibiting him and barring him from entering Africa. It was not his choice to not go there. It was a willful move by the colonial powers, and something they need to apologize for and make restitution and reparations for.
Very well. Stephen Golding, President of Universal Negro Improvement Association. Always good talking with you, sir.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Such a wealth of knowledge, man. I wish I could go to that symposium. It's just a wealth of knowledge. Like, everything he says, point after point, is like, wow. Yeah? Yeah. That was rich. We go for the break.
Are you living with HIV? It's time to access treatment, get back to business, and begin your path to a brighter, healthier future. The time brought to you by Jamaica AIDS Support for Life is
8:27.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The Temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is
29 degrees in Kingston, 29 in Montego Bay, and 24 in Mandeville.
Welcome to the FID in Action, a 5-minute production of the Financial Investigations Division aimed at empowering you to understand, identify, avoid, and report financial crimes. Each episode of FID in Action delivers expert insights and practical tips to help you stay alert and informed. It highlights the FID's ongoing work and commitment to safeguarding Jamaica's financial system. Let's dive into today's episode. Red flags in real estate and investment products. People get into real estate when they're buying a home to live in, purchasing rentals, flipping properties, making pre-construction purchases, or investing indirectly through regulated funds or a real estate investment trust. While regulated, there are some vulnerabilities in the sector of which you should be watchful. Opaque or vague property ownership records, forged IDs or titles, unlicensed agents or finders, off-plan projects with weak oversight, pressure to pay deposits quickly, and complex legal documents most buyers don't fully read. There are persons with criminal intent who may seek to exploit those vulnerabilities. Some use fake titles or valuations. Others will double sell a property to multiple buyers. In other cases, there are sham pre-construction projects that will never break ground. Some use phishing emails that swap escrow bank details, and others use shell companies to move illicit funds through property trades. In the end, victims lose deposits, time, and sometimes they lose the property itself. Due diligence is among the best ways to protect yourself. Always verify licenses and registrations. Get confirmation of titles from official registries. Insist on escrow at a reputable attorney or financial institution. Get an independent valuation. Never rely on the seller's lawyer alone. And take at least 24 hours to think carefully before transferring funds. Let's take a quick look at investment schemes. How do you know that a product is safe? Start by checking that the provider and product are properly registered and regulated. Read the prospectus or offering documents. Look for independent audits, clear risk disclosures, and fee structures or payment schedules written in plain, easy to understand language. Use only trusted, traceable payment channels. And if you can't explain how it makes money, do not buy into it. But here are some obvious red flags. Promises of guaranteed or risk-free double-digit returns. Pressure to act today. Secrecy about who runs the fund. Request for cash only or cryptocurrency only. Referral bonuses that look like a pyramid, and the absence of audited financials. Some less obvious red flags include names that closely mimic a reputable firm, contracts that bury key terms in fine print and technical jargon, payees that don't match the company name, glossy brochures but no verifiable track record, and social media hype with testimonials but no documentation. Be especially careful to be safe online when making payments and handling sensitive, confidential information and documents. Do not open attachments from unknown senders. And always use strong, unique passwords plus two-factor authentication. In general, if something feels off, walk away immediately. Report suspicious activity to the FID at 876-928-5141 or the police. You may also email contact@fid.gov.jm. Your report can protect someone else too. Real estate and investment products can build wealth when done right. So, slow down, verify, and document everything. This has been FID in Action, protecting you, preventing financial crime. Join us every first and third Friday at 8:20 a.m. on Nationwide this morning. For more information, visit fid.gov.jm. That's fid.gov.jm. Or follow on X and Instagram at FID Jamaica. Until next time, stay alert, stay informed, and help the FID as it protects Jamaica's financial system from abuse by criminals.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. The time that Grace could move is
8:33.
Already have a T-Tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. Now you can see funds in your T-Tag account almost immediately after topping up. So, if you're already on your journey, you can safely pull off the road and top up using the My T-Tag app or WhatsApp. Or ask a passenger to do it for you. And within 5 to 10 minutes, you can enjoy the lower toll rates and other benefits of the T-Tag link. Even if you forget to top up before you started your trip. Top up your T-Tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
One money, two combo. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo, that is it. Any two combo, double deal quick. It's a good look, pick any two you wish. Whopper Junior bacon and cheese, my favorite. American chicken sandwich or grab a big fish. Plus 2 small fries and 2 small drink. Double deal for my money and it have me a sing. One money, two combo. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo, get BK double deal now on a Burger King. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Those oldies but goodies reminds me of you.
To facilitate Nationwide's transition to a new location, or live programming will be disrupted starting Friday, October 17 at 1 p.m. We resume live broadcasting on Tuesday, October 21, 2025. The Mayor's Parlor will be aired on Sunday, October 19, starting at 12 noon. We apologize for any inconvenience these changes may cause.
Welcome back, listeners. We're going to take your calls for a few minutes. The numbers are 630-937-124 and 618-8255. Who do we have on the line? Billboard, good morning. Hello, Billboard?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Morning, Mr. Siobhan, East Central.
Morning, how you doing?
There, no. Is that side there inside too?
No, sir, he's taking a little break.
Okay, alright then. We do want to speak to him, but I'm going to speak to you on some other matters then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Looking back at the Constitution Reform Committee, I see that there had been a shift in terms of person who edit the ministry now. So within that person who used to edit the ministry and the person who used to work with that person, how does those persons structured now? They are structured in the Justice Minister office along with the former boss, Ms. Malahou?
Ms. Malahou Fort is no longer part of the cabinet, so the minister with responsibility for that is Delroy Chuck. As to how that will impact the structure of the Constitutional Reform Committee, your guess is as good as mine. I'm assuming the Justice Minister Delroy Chuck would take responsibility to chair that committee now, and I'm not sure as to the way forward. I don't think the composition will change. I'm not sure.
But based on the amount of person Ms. Malahou who used to lead in that ministry, are they going to go across with Mr. Justice Minister? And is it that then we are going to have some new members of CRC otherwise from the former public defender Mutunda Matule and even Miss Nadine Spence, it's going to be a shift of balance, or is it going to be those persons structuring with the Justice Minister?
As I said, those questions I am not able to answer. Those questions would have to be put to the Justice Minister once those matters have been settled. But I'm assuming that committee would be in flux at some point, because as we know, they're trying to speak or reach out to the opposition in terms of getting that process started again. So I assume there will most likely be changes, but I can't speak to that. That's a matter of policy that falls solely to the Justice Minister and the Cabinet.
I understand that, but let's shift gear and go over to, because I know that sometimes you had cover court session and you deal with court reporting.
Oh, no, I don't do court reporting. That is the remit of Robbie and Williams. I am a parliamentary reporter.
Parliamentary report. Oh, parliamentary report. Well, Mr. Siobhan, you take me off yard and you drop me now and see if I never really... Alright, well, we carry up to speed in terms of symmetry. Yesterday I was at a cemetery in Dumfries St. James where it was overgrown with bushes.
Cemetery? You mean cemetery?
Yes.
Not symmetry, cemetery. Okay, alright. Go on.
In terms of it has been overgrown with bushes, and I would wanted to reach out to the minister or the local government person who is responsible for that. I know that the person who is responsible for cemetery is the mayor under the Town and Countries Planning Local Government Act. Yes. But the cemetery has not been upkeep in Dumfries, Canaan. It has been overgrown with bushes. Person who buries the loved one, when they go back to look for them, it's just like a disaster to get the grave where the grave are put at this present moment. So
I mean, let's be blunt. All our cemeteries are in a very bad state. I can't think of one that is in a particularly good state anywhere across the country. At least none that I have visited could be clearly stated to be in a state of proper kept.
So is it that then the person who is responsible are the areas of ministry who responsible is not doing a proper job then?
It's not the ministry responsible. As you said, it is the local government responsibility, as in the various councils or municipal corporations that deal with that matter.
So is it that they're not doing a good job for the cemeteries run down then?
I agree with you on that. As I said, if somebody in the YouTube chat can point to me a cemetery that is in a good state of repair, I would be surprised. But none of the cemeteries I have seen can be said to be in a good state of repair.
Alright, let me throw out one. Mr. Said might answer it whenever time he get back, if he get back before the session. Looking at the new Bail Act, which is 24 clause and 4 schedules, looking at the provision 22 where a person has been arrested and not been charged within 48 hours, they should be put before the justice or the peace or the parish court judge, make he or she make such order deemed fit. But as I hear lawyers normally speak about their client has been held within outside the normal boundary of time where bail should be considered. Sometimes they have to 3 days, 4 days. I really don't understand, because the provision was there in section 22, say it was like a 24-hour. Now it has moved, give officers longer time, and they still hasn't been coming within a reasonable time to prefer a charge. So if they're not coming in a reasonable time to prefer a charge, why don't they refer people to the pre-charge bail then? And why they really, is it a short of duty counsel when the people have been arrested and as taken to the station, they does that, say, all right, then let me see if we can get them a duty counsel. Is it a shortage of duty counsel?
That question, I'm sorry, has to go over my head. I'm not that au fait with the Bail Act East Central. I can't assist you with that one. Sorry. So let's give somebody else a call, a chance to call. But that one I can't assist you with. I'll pass that one on to either Ricardo or Roby to try and answer. But I can't answer that one. Sorry.
All right. Thanks very much, Mr.
Have a good morning, sir.
Mr. Shabbat, me can big up to our YouTubers.
Sure, go ahead.
Them a beg me. Miss Marigold, Jamaica for life. Big up on yourself. All in row. Big up yourself. News commentator. Big up yourself. Just keep it safe. Here, out here, we are going to the work. Here.
All right, Essential. Have a good morning.
Up yourself, Ermin.
All right,
yes,
Essential.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Billboard, good morning.
You're giving me panic attack, man.
How you doing?
Lady, I want to say a mighty hi to the Nationwide family.
Okay. Yes, thank you for that.
The entire family. I don't want to call nobody special because everybody seems to be on par.
No, so what's on your mind, Billboard?
This is my story.
All right.
I have been named Billboard primarily because nobody, when I say nobody, try to understand me, seems to know what was Nationwide. And I used to walk around with Nationwide in my forehead. Then I said, what is Nationwide? What they say, that's all the man. And I would not stop being Billboard. One time I said, you can't go on air, man. I said, yeah, I've got to go back way, man. And, you know, I am proud to say that in those days, Nationwide was like a little lamp and a stick. You know, you country and you say, far light, I don't need electricity in the area. Then they say, the town square that maybe you're not used to that. Countryside was so dark. I don't think it's so thin, Wally. And when you say a light, you talk about the one electric light. Pioneer Charles, we call it lamp and stick. That's how Nationwide was in those days. And I'm proud to say Nationwide is glowing. I tell Cliff this already. Nationwide has grown beyond that one light and stick to be worldwide now international. And I'm so proud of Nationwide. I tell Cliff a couple of years ago that I have vision him opening up television station, and I'm hoping that he would open an institute of journalists. It seems as if the television station is called by Revo TV. And I need an institute of journalism.
My producer says Nationwide itself is the Institute of Journalism. I suppose I can share that sentiment considering who is our boss.
Come again.
My producer says Nationwide News itself is the Institute of Journalism. I can share that sentiment.
And I know that I want to see it now in black and white. I like a school. Because I know all of you come through good training, you know. Even the other day when I hear Saeed, I said, no, man, what is Cliff going to do? Because it must have been in his influence. His influence that is urging you people to do so good. Nationwide is 4%, but that 4% coming like 400%. Trust me, I'm proud of Nationwide. I feel blessed to know that you're moving into a bigger space comes next week. And all the best. Continue to do the best. All right?
Bless up, Billboard. Have a good day to you as well.
Good.
We have another caller. I think we can take one more. No, that's it. So unfortunately. Thank you, caller.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 8:46.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King.
Burger King Double Deal Big 2 Combo is back. Select any two from Whopper Jr. Bacon and Cheese, American Chicken Sandwich, or Big Fish Combos for only $1,800. Only at Burger King.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good that tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel it. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel it. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. Tonight's the night. Let's live it up. I got my money. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it. Like oh my God. Jump out that sofa. Let's get up.
I know you will have a ball if we get down and go out and just lose it all. I feel stressed out, I wanna let it go. Let's go way out, spaced out, and losing our control.
Fill up my cup, Mazel tov. Look at her dancing, just take it off. Let's paint the town, we'll shut it down. Let's burn the roof,
And then we'll do it again.
let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, and do it, and do it. Let's live it up and do it, and do it, and do it, do it, do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel tonight's the night. Hey, let's live it up.
Let's live it up.
I got my money. Hey, let's spin it up. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it.
Smash it.
Like oh my God.
Like oh my God.
Jump out that sofa. Come on. Let's get off. Fill up my cup.
Well, of course, it's your birthdays. Happy birthday to Camille Henry, Carl Jameson. Happy birthday to Nathalie Brown. Happy birthday to Nettie Ali, Orville McDonald. Happy birthday to Wendy Lawson. Happy birthday, Nicole Anderson. And happy birthday, Joanna Jojo. Happy birthday to you, all our Facebook peeps. Hope you have a good one. And here, happy birthday to Howard Blake, aka Prince from George's Plain in Westmoreland. Enjoy a special day and all the best for your future. These greetings coming from your brother Ken and your sister-in-law Lornette from Brampton, Canada. Happy birthday to you, Howard Blake. Happy birthday as well going to Ronaldo Smith. Those greetings coming from your brother Glenn. You celebrate your birthday on Sunday, October 19th. So love and blessings to you, bro. Happy birthday to you, Ronaldo Smith. Greetings coming from Glenn.
Tonight's the night. Let's live it up. I got my money. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it. Like oh my God. Jump out that sofa. Let's get off.
I know you will have a ball if we get down and go out and just lose it all.
Yeah, happy birthday to YouTuber Bernard Sims. Wishing you nothing but the best. Or nothing but the Bernard. Happy birthday to you, Bernard Sims, coming to you from PB. Happy birthday, Bernard. Hope you're having a good one. Siobhan, you want to get up and dance? Come see us. Stop your finger, you bob your head in, man, Siobhan.
Enjoy the song in my own way.
Sending good morning greetings to you, Donat. Greetings coming from Yulin Gale. And happy birthday to the mom of Marigold, Mrs. Lindell Weber, who will celebrate her birthday on Sunday, October 19. Mommy will be 94 years old. So happy birthday, Mrs. Weber, when it comes on Sunday. Hope you have a good one, a great 94th birthday. Greetings coming from your daughter, Marigold. Yeah. And happy birthday to Marcia Robinson. Greetings coming from your friend Elaine Williams. Happy birthday as well going out to Sonia Tolo of Captain's Bakery. Those greetings coming from Alice Gillespie Clark. So happy birthday to you. And I'm being told by Annie Smith that it is Ziggy Marley's birthday. So happy birthday, Ziggy. Hope you zig up a good one.
I see one here from Asari Wilson. I'm basking in happiness because I've made the best decision marrying the beautiful love of my life. You are the sun, you are the rain, and I will choose you again and again. Happy birthday, Camille. So, congratulations, Camille, and happy birthday to you coming from Asari Web.
And happy birthday greetings going to Mrs. Joan Denny on October 19th. That's Sunday as well, I believe. Blessings coming from husband Howard, your children Kadian and Dale. All the best, they say, on your special day, October 19th. So happy birthday, Mrs. Denny. Greetings coming from Howard Denny, your children Kadian and Dale, and they're saying to you all the best. Yeah, a very special birthday to Kariva Worrell. Her birthday will be tomorrow. Yeah, big up yourself, King says. Big up yourself. So birthday greetings coming from the Kings and their family and everybody. Everybody? King?
Marlene Lee says happy birthday to my twins tomorrow. Oh, so she has two twins and their birthday is tomorrow. Congratulations to them both from Marlene Lee.
Let's do it, cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. I feel tonight's the night. Hey, let's live it up. Let's live it up. I got my money. Hey, let's spin it up. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it. Smash it. Like oh my god. Like oh my god. Jump out that sofa. Come on. Let's get off. Fill up my cup. Drink. Mazel tov. Look at her dancing. Move it. Just take it off. Let's paint the town. Paint the town. We'll shut it down. Shut it down. Let's burn the roof. And then we'll do it again. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And do it. And do it. Let's live it up and do it. And do it. And do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Here we come. Here we go. We gotta rock. Easy come. Easy go. Now we on top. Feel the shot. Body rock. Rock it. Don't stop.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King.
One money, two combos. Pick any two from Whopper Jr., Bacon and Cheese, American Chicken Sandwich, and Big Fish Sandwich, plus 2 small fries and drinks for only $1,800. Only at Burger King.
Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when this race is won? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I want to be forever young.
Do you really want to live forever and galloping forever young? I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever and ever young? This song is to you, Kariva Worrell.
Some are a melody and some are the beat. Sooner or later they all will be gone. Why don't they stay young? It's so hard to get old without a cause. I don't want to perish like a fleeing horse. Youth like diamonds in the sun.
Chevron never on green shirt, I'm never on green tie. Yeah, match though.
Many adventures couldn't happen today. So many songs.
we should wrap now?
Yes,
well, it's our
like
final show, Siobhan. The final show at 6 Bradley Avenue.
Yes.
Yeah.
This location will now be retired in the annals of nationwide news history.
It's been good. It's been great. It's been fun. It's been all of that. But of course, we have the long weekend. So enjoy yourself, people. Enjoy yourself over the Heroes Weekend. Remember, the country's birth rate, the population growth rate, it's low. So do what you can over this weekend. It's a long weekend, so get the rest in and, do what you can to help this country. Right? Siobhan? Yeah. Just putting that out there to you as well. But special thanks to our super producer. Michelle McCrae is on vacation, but to Sonia Stewart. Thank you so much, Sonia, for being here with us this morning. And of course, Kimon Thompson in the newsroom. And of course, our musical maestro, the man behind the controls, Jermaine King. And to our deputy executive producer, George Davis. For the final time from 6 Bradley Avenue, I'm Said Bernard.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell.
Good morning.
You just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Some are like water, some are like a heat. Some are a melody and some are the beat. Sooner or later they all will be gone. Why don't they stay young?
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Your dad